Hi all, Cynthia here, back doing a layout share. So it's been a little while since I've done a layout share. I think it was in January last year. So these are the layouts that I've done from January to June, end of June. So about 6 months worth. A few here, a few hanging up still, a few down the side, and a couple of different notebooks and all. So we'll get in and start. So they're in no particular order, not in the order that I made them, just how that I've stacked them. So this layout here, you may have seen that I done a collaboration with Caitlin from Grey Florals, and our series was around colours. So we used the colours of the rainbow. This one was obviously our blue colour. Used some, I think these are Chamel Starshine collection possibly. I will try not to name too much because I generally, half the time I do actually forget who they are, so if I say something wrong, do forgive me. So I've just used a little bit of dimension to pop those up, and did some fussy cutting down here. Quite like the way that one come together. Matted the photo on a cardstock. Love this one. This one was for, I did a challenge somewhere if I remember correctly. It was a sketch that I did. I think the sketch had something like this going the other way and I flipped it all around. Certainly know that I use stuff from my Kitaholic kit. So most of these, the product is from the Kitaholic kits. I do add stuff from my stash in here and there. So I just did some stamping, then use some watercolors to color in the circles. Fussy cut that out so I could deliberately curl it up and give it some dimension. And once again, pop this photo up. Use some florals to give nice dimension. I do like dimension on my pages. A lot of the time with things like the butterfly, what I would do is, that won't lay down, is because I use a hot glue gun and I just put a blob of hot glue behind the wing, and when it dries hard so it doesn't go down. And I really love the way this one come together. Did a little bit of mixed media in the background of this one, just a photo of my husband and our son. The two of them were just sitting on the log looking out to sea, just talking, chatting, doing a father-son moment, and I just captured it. Another one from my husband, and this time it's with me. It's just about 5 things that I love about him. Just a little bit of curling of the edge. So this background paper is one paper. I grabbed these wood veneers that had come in the kit, and I just used those as some of my journaling title type of thing, and deliberately sort of off-centered it. Once again, I've popped it up on some fun foam. This is part of the colour rainbow challenge or colour theory challenge that I had done with Grey Florals. This is the red. I did lots of layering and tried to bring in the pops of black to give it a bit of contrast. It's obviously going through a stage where I was using some coloured cardstock, which is generally not me, but maybe because it was the colour challenge that I was trying to bring in those colours. It was a good opportunity to use up some of the colour. So it was red pink, if I remember correctly, was the colour. And I have done my journaling in white down the bottom. Yellow for the colour theory. This is the yellow one. Had this in my stash, this little wood veneer. I had painted it these colours ages and ages ago, but I decided to pull it out and put it on here. It had the yellow in it, and then I just pulled out another couple of bits of wood veneer, painted them in the same metallic watercolour, and have put those on. Did some, what's this, tissue paper, just rip that up, add that as some layers behind the back of the page. So most of these layouts of the colour theory I've used back black, I should say, as the pop colour, to sort of the contrasting colour, to give it a bit of, mix it up a little bit. This one was the one that I did at the beginning of the year. It was my Scrappy Goals for 2018. So they were to, comment on social media more often, which I think I do. Post 3 YouTube videos. I think I'm probably averaging 2. Sometimes I manage to get 3. Complete my bullet journal, going well with that. Reach 1,000 subscribers. Oh! The second half of the year better be a good half of the year, let's put it that way. And participate in some more challenges. Hit and miss with that. I generally do 1 a month, so that's probably more than I've been participating in. And I just love this. This background paper was already had this, I know there's a word for it, mottled, I'm going to call it, which is not the word I'm trying to think of. And I've just added some of these little sequins, and it's just a nice little soft layout. Love, love, love this one. So it's a photo of my husband and I did this as the guest designer. So I was a guest designer on the Kitaholic Kits Club for a month, I think. And this one was definitely one of those where I was guest designing. So I've just laid this piece of acetate down here. So that does flip up. Got this little shaker pocket. Wood chipboard, which I have just used, not Heidi Swap Colour Shine, but it was Mr. Huey's, I think it is. And I've sprayed that and wiped it off, and just used out the label maker to print out the labels. And I just love this one. It's just a beautiful page. This one here is also for the Colour Theory series that I done. This cut file I had, or I would say probably 3 or 4 months have been sitting. It come in my kit and I didn't really know how to use it. I don't have a cut filing machine and I don't get them very often. So when I got it, I went, I don't know. So in the end, I just backed the butterflies with some greeny blue colours, and then just added the embellishments around. I love the fact that I finally used this girl. She's been in my stash, this wood chipboard, for ages and ages and ages, and I never felt like it really went with my pages, but with POS it was perfect. Love this one. So there's background paper and nearly all the embellishments here, apart from the, I haven't glued that one on. There you go. It's always handy to go back and do these, isn't it? You pick up things that you haven't done as you're just going along. So this background paper and all these little embellishments here are from Coco Vanilla Studio, who is my favourite designer. So love the colours and the feel of this page. Just going to put that back in there this time. Does anyone else do that when you go to put your layouts away or whatever it may be? You realise, oh, hang on, I haven't stuck that bit down. Colour orange. If you didn't guess, I mean, I would understand how you couldn't guess that this was for the colour orange, and I used real pung on the for the title there. Used some old chipboard once again that was in my stash. Old papers. Everything on this one is pretty much old. I just like the way that comes together. Lots of mixed media on this one. It's okay. It's okay. I used the threads. It's meant to be messy because it's all about blackberries, and blackberry bushes are messy and they're juicy and stains everything. So I thought it went okay. The pages did a lot of buckling with all the mixed media on it, but I don't mind that. Once again, I kind of think that's just texture. Once it's in the sleeve, it will be perfectly fine. This one, just 3 photos of our son with our dog. Some older papers here. I just can't think who they're from. It's all from the same collection. I just can't think what it is. Love these wood veneer. So the wood veneer that we get in our Kitaholic kits come from Corbett Creations, and I just love their wood veneer. Just love this, the texture on the edge, and I just think they're beautiful. What do we got here? Just a bright, colourful one. I have a funny feeling that one of the colours, one of the challenges may have been rainbow, and this one was my rainbow layout, if I remember correctly. So it's quite busy. Busy. Love these big thickers here. Bold, pop on the page. Black, this would have been the black layout, and I just love the contrast of all the white on top of the black here. Beautiful big dollies. Once again, I haven't stuck it down all the way around the edge, so it has that texture to it and popped up lots of things. So, popped up the photo, some fun foam. This was the brown, and I just really like this one. This paper had the background in it. Then I had cut out these frames, hand cut out these frames, had intentions of using them maybe in a grid style, but that didn't work for me. I also used a die cut to cut out these little leaves or sprigs, and also the title I think I die cut out as well, and this. So I did lots of die cutting with the Big Shot, and I just really like the way this come together. This was a sketch that I did possibly for the Crafty Maven Getaway channel. I think I had a sketch that I had to follow, so I did this one for their channel. And the triangles were different, but it was I remember the sketch had triangles in it, so I'm pretty sure that's what I used for there. And just like the way it all leads into the middle. And once again, these papers are the Cocoa Vanilla Studio, this background paper. Don't think that one is, but that one there is, this here is, this is, you know, love those. So I'm quite happy to mix up my collections and my designers, and like this paper here, I'm pretty sure is a Kaiser craft paper. Had it in my stash forever. Same with this, it's just some like paper from our local $2 shop, paper pads. They have some nice, so I'm very happy to mix up the years and the designers. Had this paper and decided to do lots of stamping, so all this down here is stamping other than a few word stickers that have gone on, and just kind of, as you can see, just made the design one side, and I quite like the way that is, like the way it sort of just fades out a little bit on this way. This one was I maybe did that for the Crafty Maven Getaway channel, I think this one was. So if you don't know already, I am a designer for that channel as well. Put up, so you should go and check out their channel. Lots of ladies put up videos on a regular basis for you to check out. Pop that whole circle up on some foam, so the whole thing has some good dimension. More of a recent layout that I done. This is using the Case of the Ballars collection from Pink Fresh Studio, and just, yeah, a bit of a fun layout, me being a bit of a goose. And I popped this middle photo up to give it some dimension, and just added some buttons around once again. And I think a lot of my designs, you know, generally have a bit of a flow through the middle of them.